I went on that AIPAC trip. I went on subsequent trips. And there is an actual downward pressure from the leadership and even the committee chairs. Like if you're on the Foreign Affairs Committee, if you're on the Armed Services Committee, if you're on the Intelligence Committee, there's like an expectation that you go there in some sort of like, I don't know, congressional Hajj.
Former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz detailed a fascinating experience he had on an AIPAC-sponsored trip to Israel when he was still in elected office. And what he shared uncovered yet another example of Israeli occupation of the United States government. Take a look.
I was at the King David Hotel and I rolled back to my room unexpectedly when the rest of the group was still on some planned activity. And there was some dude in my room. I'm like, hey man, what are you doing here? And he acted like he was associated with the hotel and taking an inventory, but had no clipboard. And so yeah, there's a lot of reasons why they want members of Congress over there. And it is ideologically to steep them in this notion that the protection of Israel is of great import to people in America, but it's really not that important to voters. And that is becoming more clear on the right and left.
In fact, there are photos right now floating around the internet featuring dozens of Republican members of Congress. The House, I believe, is on recess right now. They took a trip to Israel immediately. Immediately. I mean, it's so embarrassing. But real quick, Cenk, he also posted this on X in regard to the comments he made in the video you just watched. He says, this absolutely happened. I explained these events to my family in case something went awry with me. I reported this to my committee leadership at the time and was told it was regular and I should never leave anything meaningful in my hotel room abroad as a member of Congress. Yeah. Because it's just accepted that like the Israelis spy on Americans, members of the American government. I mean, Ted Cruz in that wonderful smackdown interview with Tucker Carlson even admitted, yeah, the Israelis spy on us, not a big deal. I like it, keep doing it, keep abusing us.
Yeah, so I don't think they're our ally.
Come on.
So, okay, let's break this down a little bit. So, do I believe that they would be bugging the hotel rooms and maybe the material that the Congress people brought with them so that they could have the bugs when they go back home, so that they could spy in on them, maybe catch them doing some sort of affair, etc., or any kind of damaging thing like that? Obviously, if you think that Israel is so pure and moral that their Mossad would never do that. They'd never even contemplate it because they care so much about the well-being of America and other human beings that they're the one spy agency that definitely wouldn't do it. You're ludicrous. I mean, probably you're biased and you can't see straight.
Or naive.
Or you're like the most ignorant person in America and you've been watching CNN your whole life. And you're like, oh my God, aren't they more moral than everyone else? No, obviously as this genocide has proven, they are way less moral than other governments. In fact, they're one of the most immoral governments of my lifetime. So would they spy in on American congressmen that go there and say, of course they would. Of course, look, Tom Massey said we all have Israeli handlers or what he called babysitters.
Well, we have that video.
Yeah, let's show you that video and then I'll come back and tell you how I don't think Israel is our ally. I think there's some chance they're our enemy.
Everybody but me has an AIPAC person.
What's that mean, an AIPAC person?
It's like your babysitter, your AIPAC babysitter, who is always talking to you for AIPAC. They're probably a constituent in your district, but they are, firmly embedded in AIPAC. And
every member has something like this?
I don't know how it works on the Democrat side, but that's how it works on the Republican side. And when they come to DC, you go have lunch with them and they've got your cell number and you have conversations with them. So I've had
that's absolutely crazy.
I've had 4 members of Congress say, I'll talk to my AIPAC person. And it's literally what we call them, my AIPAC guy. I'll talk to my AIPAC guy and see if I can get him to, dial those ads back.
And I mean, you're telling me that our government isn't occupied right now? You're telling me it's not occupied, come on.
So Marie Newman on the Democratic side, she said it on the show here, you can check it out on YouTube, was a Democratic congresswoman from Illinois. She votes against Israel once, okay? Members of her own party pull her aside and say, that's it, we're pulling all your money. How dare you vote against Israel, they said. sitting US congressmen. They're not congressmen from Tel Aviv and Haifa, okay? And they said, we're gonna pull all your money, and then on top of that, we're gonna spend millions against you. And because you voted against Israel this one time, we're gonna eliminate you. And by the way, they did. They pulled all of her money, they spent about $4 million against her, and she lost. Okay, now when they spend that money, they don't go into her district in Chicago, near Chicago, and go, oh, you know what, Marie Newman has been disobedient to Israel. No, they make up stuff about you, right? And so all the people that have dissented against Israel have had their character assassinated in different ways.
They're going after Marjorie Taylor Greene right now, making up lies about her funding. And by the way, she remains undeterred, doesn't care about their attacks. She, in fact, posted over the weekend, good morning to all Americans who agree that our country should not be controlled by foreign lobbyists. I hope you have a wonderful day. Obviously, she's talking about AIPAC there. And I commend her for holding strong on this issue because it is important for her to prove that she's not lying when she says she's America first.
Yeah, so now back to going to Israel like Matt Gaetz was discussing. If you're a US congressman, you go to Israel, you ought to have your head examined. Why? Why do you have to go to, what a weird thing. Like you come into office, oh, you have to go to the Czech Republic. You have to go to Malaysia. And you have to kiss their wall and put on their garb. Why? Like I got nothing against Czech Republic or Malaysia, but why do I have to do that? And I'm forced to bow down to this government. I'm forced to listen to their BS propaganda and then maybe have my room bugged. Why am I forced to do all of these things? And by the way, here's a whole boatload of money. If you support us, you get millions of dollars in campaign contributions. If you don't, we'll spend $4 to $6 million against you. By the way, not just Marie Newman, Nina Turner, Andy Levin, Jamal Bowman, Cori Bush. A half a dozen Congress people have been eliminated for daring to criticize Israel. Andy Levin is from a Jewish family. Marie Newman's husband is Jewish, so this doesn't have anything to do with anti-Semitism, Jewish or not Jewish.
It's just about Israel and Zionism.
Levin, all Andy Levin said was two-state solution. That's the official American policy. And they're like, how dare you? Don't you know that that Israel is superior to the Palestinians? The Palestinians will never govern themselves. Andy Levin's a good person. He's like, I don't think so. I think they should have 2 independent states, and I love Israel, and I want to protect Israel. They're like, not good enough, and they eliminated him. So if you're saying that Israel is our ally, but they legally bribe almost all of our politicians, they use blackmail against them, and if anyone disagrees with that foreign government, whichever government it might happen to be, that they should be eliminated from American politics, that is not how an ally acts. That's how an enemy acts. And then the enemy, and this is an amazing trick, gets you to believe that they are your ally. Oh, we are your special ally. That is why you owe us $300 billion. I owe you? Why do we owe them? We owe them because they're our special ally, or that's how someone who has great disdain for you takes $300 billion out of your pocket and then tells you, I'm entitled to it, and I'm entitled to another $300 billion. And there's nothing you can do about it. I control all your politicians, but you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to say things that are true. Wait, if I'm not allowed to say things, even though there's the First Amendment in America, doesn't that prove you're controlling us?
Yeah, that our government, our country is occupied by the Israelis. And look, I get that some people like Ethan Klein get very chapped about that, but address the substance of what we're saying. Address the substance. And
I don't know when Ethan lost his mind.
I mean, he totally did. And go ahead and attack if you want. But how about you just try to attack the substance of the argument? Because he's, by the way, under the assumption that no, the top foreign lobbyist in the country, the lobbyist that has spent the most, is associated with Qatar.
Okay, nonsense. I'll just address this real quick. I don't know anything about Ethan. All I know is he was for the 2-state solution. That was a perfectly reasonable thing to be in favor of. And now apparently he's become a zealot who's finding anti-Semitism everywhere. Is anti-Semitism in the room with us, Ethan? Okay, yeah, I know. Everybody's against you, everybody. No, the fact that Israel is now murdering tens of thousands of children is not the problem. No. It's that people are irrationally hating Jewish people. Nobody said Jewish people. We said Israel. You guys are the idiots saying, no, this genocidal maniacs in Israel represent all Jews. No, they don't. Stop saying that, you're doing great damage, okay? So anyways, Israel, you are not the boss of us. I know you are currently. And I know we are occupied, and now we all know how it feels to be a Palestinian. But you're not supposed to be the boss of us. And if you're trying to be the boss of us, by definition, you are not our ally. You are our enemy who is occupying us. And if you catch feelings over that, and you don't catch feelings about 61,000 dead people at a minimum, 25,000 dead children, the starvation of children, the murder of journalists, you don't care about that, and you care about theoretical anti-Israel bias, you're a terrible person, and you are our enemy.
Okay, but I'm always honest with the audience. I'm anti-Israel. At this point, I wasn't before. At this point, I'm anti-Israel. How am I gonna be in favor of a genocidal regime and government?
No, honestly, how can you be pro-Israel?
How could you be pro-Israel
I mean,
at this
it's
point?
not like-
How could you, seriously?
It's not like we're permanently against the German people. The German people are human beings just like anyone else. But if in the middle of World War II, you demanded that everyone be pro-Germany, that would be a maniacal position,
absolutely, yeah.
right? As Stalin was murdering 25 million people, if you said you have to be the pro-Russian government right now, you'd be like, wait, why? Why? I mean, I love the Russian people, but why do I have to be in favor of the Russian government as they murder all these people? But Israel has a special exception to everything. But if you pointed out anti-Semite, yeah, get the hell out of here.
No, in fact, I mean, look, if we're gonna do moral judgments, I find it deeply immoral to be a supporter of Israel at this moment.
It is.
So
it's totally immoral.
Like, you can call me whatever you want. I look down at you.
I'll call you
if
something.
you're in favor of this.
No. We're done with maniacal Israeli supporters calling other people names.
Yeah,
we're
seriously.
done with that era. Now we're in the era where we call you names, okay? And the name we call you has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with you specifically. If you're still a supporter of this maniacal genocidal government, okay? You're a terrible person. You're a hateful person. You're a racist against Palestinians. You're a bigot against Muslims and Christians. And you think you're superior to all of us and that we owe you all of our money. No, you're a terrible person and a bigot and a racist.
And a supremacist.
Okay, and a supremacist.
Yeah,
I'm not interested in white supremacy. I'm not interested in supremacy of any religion, race, or creed. We're Americans. Americans are supposed to be equal. We're supposed to fight for justice. And if some stupid Israeli supporter says, no, my people are superior to all of you, you must bow down. And if you don't, I'm gonna call all of you hateful. You are all anti-Semitic. Owe me more money. You owe me more money. Give me money. Give me 310 billion isn't enough. I haven't murdered enough Palestinians. I haven't occupied them enough. I'm sick of you occupying the Palestinians. You are not our ally. You are definitely our enemy. And if you ask me to love Israel in the middle of a genocide, my answer is hell no. The exact opposite. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows. Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.